Good evening. Is the frequency in use? I didn't hear anything. Hold on one second for a slight adjustment. All righty, very good. It's K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Very good. If there is emergency traffic, please call, or you have an emergency, call 911. If you have emergency traffic, I can't imagine what it would be. If you need to call your mother-in-law, or I don't know what, or I don't know, you need to call in pizza. I don't know what you need for an emergency traffic, but you're welcome to call here if you think we can help us. If you can help, no, we can help you. Anyway, this is K4PAW, and if you have any questions about that, just call 911 first, and then call us. They're the people who should be answering you very well. That may be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic. For information on this net, you can see us right now on YouTube. If you look us up on YouTube under the, just search for K4PEW and the search block, you'll should show up right there. You can also see us on our excuse me, our regular web page. This is 146415.net. That's the same as the frequency without the decimal, 146415.net. Or you can sign up for the email list if you haven't already and see our certificate program for missing the net on groups.io, groups.India Oscar, and then look for MJSS. That's MJSS. Or you can email me at K4PEW at whatever, at ARRL.net. That's what it is. K4PEW at ARRL.net. We meet every night at 8 p.m., every Wednesday night, and every Saturday night at 8 p.m. And we conduct the net tonight on 146.415 FM Simplex. I'm seeing you have trouble talking again tonight. Purpose of the net is to have fun, to figure out who you can hear and how well your station works. We don't really test to see how well other people can hear you, other than that you can test to see how well I hear other people relative to how well you can hear them, especially if you're using the YouTube channel. I think we're the only ones doing this net. I think we're the only ones doing a net like this, I should say. That's a live stream on YouTube to help people understand what they can and can't hear. And try to figure out why. And that's the beauty of it, really. And I think that's why we've gained so many check-ins and so many people. We've got 112 or 113 people on email list now. So anyway, tonight's announcements, I'll give those first on my part. Tonight, immediately following the 2-meter net, we'll have the standard buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Then we'll have the 2-meter upper sideband on sideband net on 144.240. That's upper sideband 144.240 if you have to write that down. And then 6-meter net following that on upper sideband on 50.150. 50.150. And don't forget Sunday night's net. That's tomorrow, Sunday night's net at 7:30 on 10 meters on 28.415 upper sideband. 28.415 tomorrow night.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
YouTube doesn't seem to be alive.
It's live apparently for me, and I'm guessing at least 7 other people. I think anybody else got a problem? Is anybody else not getting the YouTube, or are they getting the YouTube?
I see it, but it's not moving.
Well, I don't have a. It says here it's on. Seems to be. I can't tell. I can only see it from my perspective, and that's that it appears to be on. Anybody else seeing the YouTube live?
I am on YouTube to refresh his browser.
Yeah, refresh your browser and refresh your drink.
Okay.
You give it a try, James?
We only got to walk across the room.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate the input, though. I mean, yeah, well, that would be the ideal thing to do. I try to do that here as well. See how important that YouTube is? It's just so important. But anyway, I think we're the only ones doing it. And again, tomorrow, Monday night, and that's a special. There's if you're interested in hearing Bob Heil talk about microphones and doing those things properly between microphones and the microphone feeds into your radio and how that relates to ham radio. He's doing a Zoom broadcast on that. And if you need to be on the mailing list, that's where the information is, or I can send it out again. It's already out there, but I can send it again. There should be a reminder coming up If you didn't get one today, there'll be another one on, I believe on Monday. I sent out another reminder, but it's Bob Heil Live, and it's on Zoom. And actually, they set it up for the Tampa Amateur Radio Club, of which I was never a member. But I'm on their mailing list, so I got this. They apparently set up the Bob Heil thing, but it's kind of open to the public if you know what the Zoom. If you ever just look on Zoom. If you don't have it, you can just download Zoom. It's free. It's like Skype except better, and they can take dozens, if not hundreds, of logins into a training class like this. But anyway, that's Monday night, and quite honestly, I think it's at 6:30 because it's 7:30 Eastern time, so I believe it's 6:30. But if you have any questions, look on the look in your email actually, or you can contact me directly. Does anybody else have any questions about any of those announcements, or do they have announcements of their own? I think I'm hearing Rick. Is that Rick in there? Mike, are you hearing Rick? I have no idea who that is. I'm hearing a lot of squelch breaking, but nothing else.
That's all I'm hearing too.
It kind of sounded like Rick's voice, but that could have fooled me in between the squelch breaking. All right, whoever that is, hold the antenna up higher and give it double the power and point it in my direction. Other than that, you don't have to do anything. All right, well, we'll move on. I'm sorry if you can't hear me, and I'm sorry I can't hear you. Normally, I can hear just about everybody who checks in unless they're having some issues. At least, since I'm the guy in the middle, I'm able to hear people as far away as Rick over in Ashland City, and north to up across the Bowling Green, and then east to I'm not sure where. I've talked all the way over to, of course, the guy had a beam, but he was way over in Monterey, and that's like, I forget how far that is, 75, 85 miles. Of course, he had elevation and a beam. And south, I've talked down into the middle Alabama, but again, good conditions. That's what did that, because I haven't done it, I don't think, since.
That was Rick.
Okay, are you hearing him now?
No, I just texted.
Okay, very good. Well, it must be bad conditions, because I know that storm's moving around here.
Hey, Rick, W4AWE, I've got a great copy on you. I'm not sure why nobody else is hearing you. Connect control.
All right, very good. Does Rick just having a problem getting out? Is that the issue there, John?
No, I've got a real solid signal on him, but I've noticed I've been sort of dabbling on the VHF contest all day, and conditions are just incredibly noisy on VHF tonight.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I saw so little activity on VHF. I couldn't believe it. 6 meters in UHF.
Yeah, this morning for about an hour, right after the contest started, well, this afternoon, it was great. I worked a lot of Canada and New England, and then it just went dead.
Yeah, very good. Well, obviously tonight there's a problem, because normally I can hear Rick just fine. Stan, you had something.
Hey, Paul, I was hearing the fellow that you're talking to. I wasn't sure whether you were hearing him or not. Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Was it Stan you were hearing? I mean, Stan, was it Rick you were hearing from Ashland City?
I was hearing the fellow that you were just talking to.
Oh, okay, that's John over there in John 8K4 W4 AWE in Bellevue. So that's quite a distance for you, really. Do you normally hear John over there in Bellevue? Stan, do you normally hear John over in Bellevue?
I don't think so.
Okay, so conditions are kind of wacky tonight. You're hearing John, but we can't hear Rick, but John can hear Rick, but I can't hear Rick, and neither can Michael, who's closer. He's over in Belshire. So anyway, all right, very good. Oh, we got something straightened out there. I'm not sure what, but Rick, I'm sorry if you can hear me. I'm sorry we can't hear you tonight. Perhaps I don't know. He's able to do 6 meters or 2 meter upper sideband. He can do, right, Michael?
No, he can do neither.
Oh, for some reason I thought he could do 2 meter upper sideband. All right, we're gonna have to have a loaner program for all mode rigs, I think.
This is like the Three Stooges. Who's on first?
Yeah, except it's not as funny.
back to net control.
Yeah, very good. And you're not going to be able to tell that little who's on first very long, because nobody younger than 35 is going to know what that is.
Law and Hardy. I'm sorry, Abbott Costello, WY4G.
Yeah, there you go. You were going too far back. That's where you were going there, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Law and Hardy on there, but it's Abbott Costello did the Who's on First routine.
Yeah, they did, and it was funny too. It was funny then, and it's funny now. Of course, I got it, I think, in reruns in the 50s, so, and I think they did it in the 30s or 40s. So you can hear my dogs in the background. My wife just got home. Anyway, let me get started. Yeah, hold on one second. I'm gonna just give a slow count here until they get in. She gets in the house because they are noisy. Hey, get out! I'm gonna have them debark. I think they bark at me when I come in, and they know me. Let's see, where was I? I got finished with the announcements. We got finished with some of the little minor housekeeping items. I was going to add. I'll ask later about something else. A couple items I wanted to ask about. 1 second. We'll go from there. I just want to get rid of this dog noise because I know they're going to rack it again when my wife comes into the house. But anyway, yeah, it's been another hot day. There we go. She's here, and the dogs are quiet. All righty. Let's see. Tonight is net number 606. We're starting from the north. And of course, it's July 18th, and this is July, August. Man, just 2 more months, and we'll have 6 years under the belt. And whatever that's going to work out to be, 2 nets a week times 3, that's 12. It'll be about 620 nets or so. So we're cooking right along. Anybody else have any adjustments to those or changes or questions about the announcements or new announcements?
KM4YRF.
Hey, Mike.
Rick and I went to the Cheatham County Aries Group antenna build today. That was kind of fun. They built a off-center fed dipole that's kind of it's not a full V shape, but it's kind of almost V. And they said that was just a really, really good antenna for portable use.
Yeah, very good. Without going into crazy detail, do you remember how long it was?
134 feet.
Okay, so that was the one that was, I think that's good for 80 through 10, is it not?
That would be correct.
Okay, very good. And did they have a 4-to-1 balun in the middle of it?
Yeah, it was off center, but it was a 4-to-1 balun.
And no other balun, like a 1-to-1 underneath that?
No, not on this one.
Okay, very good. There's a couple of derivations of that off-center fed, the Carolina Windham and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a good antenna. I still have one, but I don't use it anymore. It was for like 40 through 10, and I've got another. Anyway, I just say, yeah, great antenna. You're right. And that was at Cheatham County, huh?
Yep, it was. And we're going to build one for Rick whenever he upgrades to general.
No, when he upgrades to general, not whenever.
I said when.
Yeah, not whenever. You need to bug him about that, man. That's what you got to do. And spend some time he needs, anybody who's actually working to upgrade, again, I should have made that in the announcement. I'm still able and willing to do individual proctoring for the upgrade exams, whether it's simply for tech or the upgrade to general or extra. I can do it at your house or anywhere that's got air conditioning. I did one with the last one I did. We went to the library thinking we could sit in there, and we couldn't. So we had to sit out on the patio in the noise and the heat here, some noise in the heat in Mount Juliet at noon. So it was a little warm, but we got through it okay. But anyway, we can do that. If you're looking to upgrade, now's a good time to do it. You can do it one-on-one, and it's your own convenience and my convenience. So anybody's working on it, spend some time every day. That's the real idea, is to get on QRZ and look at it every day. And if you're working on the general, get up and get the general book, and study all of the concepts you don't understand. And I'm confident that if you study, you'll be able to do well. I know I'm glad I did, and I took a fair amount of studying to get there, but it was well worth it. And again, my reason for going from technician to general to extra and doing the 5 words a minute code in the middle of that was because I didn't want to have to remember where to transmit. And I says, man, that's the easiest way to do it is just, I don't care where I transmit. My radio won't let me transmit outside of band. So that's all I need to worry about. All right. Any other questions or corrections or other announcements? For those of you who didn't hear Michael, they did an off-center fed dipole at the Cheatham County. That was the Amateur Radio Club, not the Aries night, or was it?
It was Aries, man.
Oh, man, Aries. Why don't you tell me that? I wouldn't have said anything. No, I'm just joking. What do you call it? I'm glad that they did that. That's good. I'm glad more people are doing that on building antennas. It's a nice, honorable thing to be doing, and it's fun. All right. Anybody else with questions? All right. Then we're going to get through the July 18th, starting from the north on 6:06, and we start with the lightning round, which means you give me your call, your name. This is real tough stuff. Call, name, rank, and serial number. But it's call, name, and what do you call it? Oh yeah, where you live, where are you calling from? So we'll go start from the north. Please come now.
KB9RKK, Frank in Mount Juliet.
Very good, Frank. That was Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo. Frank here in Northwest Wilson, kind of Mount Juliet. Who else is north? Oh yeah, north.
WB0NLO, Mark in Northwest Wilson.
All right, very good. You have you in there, Mark. That's Mark in Northwest Wilson, up by the weather station. That's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Oscar. Who else north?
59 ETS, Paul, North Mount Juliet.
There was a double in there, but the 9 ETS. Your call is Whiskey. Is it Whiskey Bravo 9?
Kilo Charlie 9.
I couldn't have got it more wrong. The double messed me. The double messed me up. So it's Kilo Charlie 9. You'd think I'd remember this after a while, but it's not always that easy. So I dare anybody to try it. You're welcome to give it a shot on net control. Sometimes I feel like an idiot here, not getting the calls right. But anyway, that's Paul here in Mount Juliet. The other Paul, Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra. Boy, it's funny. I got that so wrong. But again, a double. Who else was in there in that double?
Alpha 4 Delta Echo, Daniel in Mount Juliet.
Very good, Daniel. Good to have you in there. You messed me up. It's your fault. That's why. That's why I got his call wrong. But no, you didn't. Really. Alpha 4 Delta Echo Dam here in Mount Juliet. Who else is north? Anybody in north? We'll move over to the west. Please come in.
4G, Jeff Madison.
Hold on, Jeff. I believe I did hear Rick that time good. That was Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Isn't that you, Rick? Wow, I caught you on a good one because the second round there, when I asked you about that was you, it went bad again, but I did copy the call fine, so we'll consider it a valid QSO. It's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot under ugly conditions between me and Ashland City, but that's where he is. It's about 35, 40 miles west of me. So if you're anywhere that same distance and you don't have any elevation, you probably haven't heard Jeff. I mean, Rick. It was Jeff Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf was next. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing is tired. Been busy working. What I did today, I was there a couple of weeks. So first one I had something to do with the wife. Week 4 I had something to do with the wife. Last area fell asleep early from the fatigue, but I'm here tonight.
Hey, listen, you don't have to give excuses. Work, wife, and naps, they supersede the net, okay?
Oh yeah, I wasn't giving excuses. I was letting you know where I was at because I'm usually here. So I probably wonder, why I wasn't, but that's why.
Well, as you know, we don't. Well, I write down who's here. It takes me a while to figure out if somebody doesn't check in for a while, just because when we have 30-something people and I'm on the air a fair amount during the week, so I don't always remember who's here and who's not specifically. But yeah, no, I don't. It's just not. We keep track. We're not counting. We're not. We don't make a big deal of it, as you know. But anyway, that was Jeff, and he's in Madison. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Great signal, and I'm glad you're here tonight, Jeff. Who else is west?
KM4 YRS, Mike in Belshire.
All right, Michael. Boy, that is some microphone you got there, man. That's awesome.
I love it, Paul.
Does it come across good to you on the YouTube? I mean, the sound that you're expecting?
Well, I haven't really listened to it because I have to turn the sound down because it throws me off when I'm trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, I know that delay in there. There's no way around it, unfortunately. Even with the speed of light from me to wherever YouTube server is, back to everybody else, it's enough of a delay to cause things to sound goofy.
I'm gonna go back and listen to it this time after the net.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, we've got a monster amount. We got 13 people who've checked in. I don't normally look at that, but I had noticed after the last net that there was just even that day or the next day, we had like 35 or 36 people who had signed on. Like, it shows me the count, and it was fairly unusual. So there's more people than I don't know who else checking in because I can't see, but that doesn't tell me who. It just tells me there's people there. So if you're listening, put a like on the YouTube's channel, and if you will, leave a comment or a thumbs up, wherever they have that thing on there. You can even leave a comment if you like. It does help promote the channel, and it helps promote Simplex. That's the only reason. I do in full compliance with being honest. I do make money on my YouTube channel, but if I the entire year of what I can't remember the exact math, but if you take all of the check-ins for an entire year, 12 months, it's kind of funny. I mean, check-ins, on YouTube, people looking at the channel. I'm looking at this video. If I add them all up, you make up how much it's worth. It's about $8 a month. Maybe it's less. No, it's $8 for the year. Excuse me. It's like 75 cents a month I get on that feed because people are looking at the channel and seeing something. I don't know why they even bother, but it's just so little money. It's not even worth discussing. Some 50 or 80 cents a month. It's kind of funny to me. Anyway, I get a lot of other feeds. I get a lot of other lookups on other stuff I have on there. If you look on that channel, you'll see some being promoting here, but there's some ham radio music videos that we find, well, at least I found them pretty funny. And there's also some U.S. Navy videos and some other ham related stuff that I have up there. Nothing real exciting. Anyway, who else is Wes? Please come in.
KG4 CXE Chris and Dawson.
Echo John in Bellevue.
All right, John, you had a double in there. It was a perfect double, but I caught Chris's first. That was Chris in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Did you do anything exciting in the heat today there, Chris?
Actually, I flew a plane or two this morning and came back and got on the 2-meter thing and tried to shout out on upper side band. I think I heard Robin, and that was pretty much it. But other than that, just exhausted from the heat. That's about it.
Yeah, very good. Somebody, Wes Whiskey Kilo Echo 4 TWI. He sent me a picture of the thermometer. He was working on in the tent, underneath the overhead, and where he was working the contest, it was 101 degrees outside. So it was on Mount Defiance here in Wilson County. Anyway, that was Chris. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo in Donaldson. And we had John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. Everything else going well for you, John?
Oh, yeah, going fine. Chris, sorry about the double. And Mike, by the way, that new microphone sounds fantastic. No, I'm just chugging along as usual, working day and night, but it's all cool. That's what I do.
Yeah, well, you got to. It pays the bills. That's what I always say. Pays the bills. May not be fun all the time, but it pays the bills. Work can be, even work you love can be tedious sometimes, I found. Anyway, who else is Wes? Please come in.
KG4 ILC Jack and Donaldson.
I think I talked to you early today, Jack. You still doing all right?
Oh yeah, doing great. That was a good Q though this morning.
Yeah, very good. I enjoyed it as well. That's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor, and he's also in Donaldson. Excellent signal, but I wouldn't expect anything less from that location. Who else is west?
In 5 TAW, that's Q 4 DFA, John and Hermitage.
Hold on, John. I believe I had Dave N5 TAW. That was you, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, very good. And that was Dave, and he's in N5 TAW. N5 TAW is Madison or Gallatin? I forget.
Madison.
Oh, okay, very good. I don't always remember the locations perfectly. Anyway, that was Dave. And November 5, Tango Alpha Whiskey in Madison. And who was the other party in there?
KO4DFA, John, and Hermitage. How you doing tonight, Paul?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha. I was, it's funny. I every time I come on the net, you ask that question. My wife says, "Hey, you got the net tonight?" I said, "Yeah, I do." It's not like it's not like I'm going to the, I'm 12 and I'm going to the circus, but it's one of those things I enjoy, and at the same time, it's I'll just call it somewhat of an obligation to do this. I don't see anybody volunteering to take the job, but I'd be willing to give it up anytime if somebody wants to practice. But anyway, I'm unfortunate. I say fortunate. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Let me break there for a second. It's not that I wouldn't give it up, because even if you don't have a great system and you wanted to do net control, we could do relays to you. If it could be just about anybody doing the net, really, unless you really were working off an HT. But you understand what I'm getting at. In fact, we've had that. It comes up periodically, and I've done it many times, especially when I had a poorer antenna. Doing relays in doesn't make it a bad net. It just means that there's other people who can relay information and check-ins for you. Anyway, and everybody wants to try. I'd be more than willing to let you do the net. I'm not trying to be a net hog here. There's such a word as a net hog. All right, we had John. Okay, John, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha, and John's in Nashville, right? Did I get that right?
Hermitage, but close enough. Yeah, we're just right on the edge of Hermitage and Mount Juliet. And I also did pick up a new radio. I went and visited my dad back in Los Angeles. He sent me home with a 25 watt. I'm looking for a power supply, something 10 amp that I can get this thing going with and stick it on my antenna, and then maybe actually join in at a higher level.
Ah, okay, very good. And it's a 25. Whose model 25 watt is that?
I can't remember what it was. It's still in a box, and until I get a power supply, there's no point in opening the box.
Okay, everybody keep that in your under your notes there. John is in K0 Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha. He's looking for a power supply for a new 25 watt radio, so it doesn't have to be a monster power supply for a 25 watt radio. So if you got one of those, we'll be doing the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net immediately after the 2 meter net. Very good, John. Glad, that'd be great. If you need help with that, make sure to ask somebody if you're not sure about things. We got a lot of resources out here among 100 and something people, so don't hesitate to ask. I can usually either find or coerce somebody to help you.
Sounds great.
All right, very good. I don't think I have to do any coercing, really, because I can't kick people off the net. I can't refuse their entrance to the club because there is no entrance. You can sign in, you just can't check out. What is that? You can check in, but you can't leave, like in Hotel California. Who else is west? Going to the south, then. Please come now. This is K4PEW.
Kilo 4, uniform Tango here.
Jim in Woodbury.
All right, Jim, hold on one second. I think we had a triple in there, but I had Jim in Woodbury, but I also had Carl was first with Kilo 4, uniform Tango Sierra. You got a nice signal tonight. Have you changed anything, Carl?
My underwear, but that's about it. I took a bath this month, but I'm good. So KK4UTS on the side.
Okay, so you do the Saturday underwear change too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys sounded good. Everybody sounded good. I enjoyed this day. You're such a genius. So anyway, when I grow up, maybe I'll be just like KK4UTS on the side.
I'm hoping you have higher aspirations than that, Carl. Genius. I like that. If I'm a genius, holy crap. What does that say for some of the other real geniuses? Anyway, that was Kilo 4, uniform Tango Sierra, Carl. And Jim, Kilo Echo 4, dang. Give me a call again, Jim. I got all confused.
That's all right. Sometimes I stumble over it myself. The call is Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee Juliet Jim, north side of Woodbury.
All right, very good. Kilo. Normally I'd remember that, really. Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee Juliet Jim in Woodbury, about 35 miles to the southeast. So most of you should be able to hear Jim because he's pointing kind of towards, I guess you're pointing straight toward Mount Juliet tonight?
Yeah, I'm pointing right at Mount Juliet tonight. Most nights, that's where
Most of the people are in that general area, and as you work your way down south, and I can work southwest and back up, and I cover everybody pretty much. Anyway, there's really nobody behind me.
No. Well, there are, but they're just not involved in the net because they're too far away. Anyway, that was Jim, Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee Juliet. He's got a 10 element beam that he points in this direction or other directions as he sees fit to talk to people. It does a great job. If you've never talked to Jim, pick him up someday because he'll point at you and you think he's right around the corner from you. Who else is south? Anybody else south?
Kilo Delta 4, Charles. Yankee Victor.
Hold on, Larry. We had another almost perfect double in there saying Sierra Yankee Victor. Okay, I got. I'll have you in there in a moment. But I had the Kilo Oscar 4. Who was that? Kilo Oscar 4 station?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg in Antioch.
Ah, okay. Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg in Antioch. Very good. Good to have you in there, Greg. Yeah, it was just enough of a double that I missed half of your call, but and most of Larry's call. But Greg is in Antioch. It's Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. That is correct now, right, Greg?
That's correct.
Very good. Just want to make sure. Yeah, when I read that back to you just a second ago, my D looked like an O to me. Anyway, and O is a new call to all the new people that are getting licenses, and that kind of throws me for a curve anyway. Anyway, Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor. Larry, you doing all right down there? Is it rained this afternoon?
Oh man, it had rain and it's hot.
Don't even get me going on that hot, man. You get in the car and you touch the steering wheel and you blister your fingers. Anyway, Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor is Larry. He's in Rockville. Anybody else south? All righty, over to the east then.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India, James and Mount Juliet.
All right, I got James in there, Mount Juliet here, right in the middle of Mount Juliet, the heart of Mount Juliet, I guess. Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India, sounds great. Hope the family's doing well. Who else east? Or I guess we're talking, no, east, that's right.
KI4SIP, Richard.
All right, and we're going to check in KI4SOR as well.
Absolutely.
Very good. Hope things are going well for you guys over there. And Richard's near Lebanon. How are you and Daphne doing?
We're good. All things considered, we're in pretty good shape.
All things considered. That's how many things are there to consider? Listen, as long as you're upright and taking solid food, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, we're in good shape for the shape we're in, I guess, everybody. No, but everything's fine. Hope everybody else is staying healthy.
Yeah, very good. Well, I hope they are. I haven't heard anybody getting sick, and that's why I'm happy I haven't heard anybody getting sick in this circle of hams we deal with. There may be some I don't know of. I just looked today. I haven't looked in a couple of weeks on the number of people who had that COVID here in this area, and I forget how many. I think it was 1,000 something people here in not in Mount Juliet, but in Wilson County. But I haven't heard of one of them, so I don't know who's got it. Anyway, who else is east?
KB4 SFM.
Hey, Tom, doing well? The net was doing pretty good last night, Thursday night. Yeah, no, Thursday night with Jeff. Tom,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I heard you before. Did you have your volume down or something?
No, I think I got a problem with power supply or cords. Power wants to drop out.
Yep,
Yeah, okay. You got I think I heard Earl in there too, but everything's going otherwise it's going all right, right, Tom? Yeah, I was just saying that Jeff had a big turnout on the net Thursday night.
Yes, he did. He did a good job calling the net. I said the only problem I've had is my water pipes are frozen here. I left the door open under the house and the cold weather got it.
Oh boy, man, you got to wrap some of that heat tape around them pipes, man.
That's for sure. Dang, it was hot out there today. But that's all I got. 73 is all around. KB4 SFM.
Yeah, it's like my dad used to say. It's so hot out, I think I'll leave it out. Anyway, I had Tom in there. That was Kilo Bravo 4, Sierra Foxtrot November. And prior to that, it was Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo, and Kilo India 4, Sierra Oscar Romeo, Richard and Daphne, and just west of downtown Lebanon. And I think I heard Earl. Are you checking in?
Yeah,
KE4DZ, Earl and Noreen. Yeah, sound like you and Tom doubled there a little bit when, anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
Very good. Well, when we get Tom and me doubling, we double your pleasure.
Oh, that's right. I need to get me a stereo set of speakers on this radio.
Yeah, it is good to have a good speaker system. I'll give you that. Although I saw a pair of Bose noise canceling headphones, both wireless, Bluetooth and wired, and the one set was, I think, $379 just for headphones.
Oh man, take a mortgage out on your blow down trees. You might be able to get one.
Well, I am not going to get one. I shouldn't never mention it in the house, because every time I say that's too much money, my wife goes out and buys me something like that. And I said, I don't need it. I don't want it. I won't use it. It's just something else for me to mess with. Anyway, that was Earl, and he's in Noreen. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Again, in Noreen. Good signal, Earl. Conditions are good for you. Were you able to hear out west at all tonight? Like out to, were you in earlier for Ashland City?
I didn't hear, well, I could have, but I don't know. I was over here tinkering around with some new Pinky's settings on my radio and turned the preamp on and I got it on now because conditions is kind of iffy out here with that storm coming up and whatnot. But there's like 2 or 3 of them out there I couldn't hear up there in the up around Ashland City and up in the northern parts.
I got you. Now, very good. In fact, normally there's not one, but there's a buzz. I don't know whether that's local line noise here in Mount Juliet or not. It could be. I had some line noise this morning that was extremely annoying for local QSOs, right around me within about 5 miles. So I don't know what was going on there. And a little bit of that right now, but just a little bit of buzz static on your signal, which isn't normal. Normally there's just a little background, hash, but this was a buzz, nothing significant. Anyway, Earl in Noreen, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else is east?
Coming E4TWR.
Oh man, I thought for sure you wouldn't check in just because I heard big lightning bolts.
No, we're fine. But you're sounding good from Mount Defiance here. We got John here, K4EHL, and Robin, K4IDC, and Bryce, K4MBF. So we got a crew of dedicated hams out here.
I guess, and you're 50 over from Mount Defiance.
Yeah, well, I got the antenna part at you, so there you go.
Well, also, Mount Defiance is how high?
1326.
Oh boy, so you're looking down at me. You got to point that thing down a little downward.
Yeah, all right. Keep on keeping on. KE4TWI.
Very good. That was Wes. He's over Mount Defiance with a couple other hams. Defiant hams. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Who was the other? There was somebody else jumped in there with Wes. Who was it?
That was me, Paul. Tell your wife that my birthday is next Thursday, and she has time to order from Amazon.
Yeah. What was your name again? All right. Yeah, I know. Man, I would love to have headphones like that, but it's not, it's like a buddy of mine years ago. He was bragging about his, he said, man, you really need to get a hi-fi, really, really good hi-fi, high fidelity, great stereo surround sound or whatever was good at the time. I said, listen, Michael, I go, $1,000 radio system with speakers. I got $100 ears. I don't need $1,000 stereo. Anyway, who else is, where am I? East.
Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India, John, Mount Juliet.
Hello, John. You doing well here in Mount Juliet? Did it rain? Did it rain at your place this afternoon?
Yeah, we did. We were eating dinner and had some rain coming down, but it was just real quick. I mean, the sun was still shining. I've had a couple lightning strikes over here since the net started, so I was a little nervous about that, but we're doing good over here.
Hey, the worst going to happen is blow up your gear.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, but you know what? I've learned over the years. I lived in the lightning capital of the free world down in Tampa on the west coast of Florida for 37 years. If it's going to get you, it's going to get you. I had a lightning bolt hit a tree in my neighbor's yard. killed a tree, blew the bark off this big, 75-foot pine tree. And then my air conditioning stopped working. And I found out that that lightning strike, that little surge, whatever it was, and it was a good 150, 200 feet away from my house. It blew out the 24-volt transformer in the middle of my house that had the control voltage for the thermostat. That's the only thing it took out in the whole house.
Yeah, we've been fortunate over here. Our AC's been working well. It's pretty much running around the clock, but been glad that it's keeping up with the heat.
Yeah. Anyway, no, lightning is going to get what it's going to get. I mean, it'll surprise you. It surprised me almost every time I've seen lightning problems, and it seems to seek out stuff it doesn't like, and even stuff it does like, and it's because it goes in a path. They say electricity takes the path of least resistance. Well, it seems to have a lot of least resistances when it hits something because it can blow out lots of things. Anyway, that was John here in Mount Juliet. Kilo for Juliet, Zulu, India. Well, that is such a tongue twister call. You're going to have to change it, okay? No, you don't have to. Anyway, who else is east?
For EBX, Eddie and Label.
All right, we got a little bit of a big double in there, but Eddie won because he's such a big signal guy. That's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. He's in Gladeville. Who was the double in it?
That's me, W4MUL.
Whiskey 4 Mike, Uniform Foxtrot Jimmy here in Mount Juliet as well. Yeah, Eddie beats you out, but he's a little bit closer, and he's got a tower that really, it's one of the bigger ones. And Eddie, good to have you in there, and Jimmy, and here in Mount Juliet as well, up north of the high school near Lebanon Road. That was Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot. Yeah, we just had a little bit of rain here this afternoon. I didn't even know it rained. I went outside and I saw the concrete was wet. So, anybody else east? One more time. Quite a bit of static on that last one.
Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Victor Uniform, Stephen at Lebanon.
Very good, Stephen. I thought it was you, but it was really had a whole bunch of that line noise in there again. I think that's just weather related. But Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Victor Uniform, east toward east towards Lebanon there. Who else is east?
KB4 RSM, Glenn at I-40 and 109.
I-40 and 109 Glenn. We'll call you the I-40 109 Glenn. How's that?
That works. I've been called worse.
Yeah, make a list. I'll send you mine. That was Kilo Bravo for Romeo Sierra Mike, and he is at 109 and I-40. He doesn't live right on the interstate or 109, but it's near there. Who else is east? All right, Stan, got you in there, Stan. Stan, by the way, I don't know if you saw it on the. You asked me a question after last night. I mean, on the email on the last night. I could copy you on 10 meters. Was it 10 meters? Is that where we were talking about? Was on 10 meters? Yeah, I could copy you. Okay, it was a little weak signal, but it wasn't registering anything on my meter. I mean, like I said, there was signal, but there was audio, but very little signal. If that answers your question.
Okay, that was the ground-mounted particle I was using, and you also had a Logan in there earlier.
Okay. Logan, let me get, that was Stan, by the way. He's in just north of downtown Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Logan, are you still in there? Very good. That LLC, that's 4 LLC. Is that Kilo 4 LLC? I forget. Another poor guess on my part, Logan. Good to have you in there. I can't wait till you get better antenna, a little bit more power. I copy it tonight, but it's not it's not a great copy. I'm sure, Stan, you can copy him real well over there.
Yeah, he's good over here.
Yeah, I would suspect so. But I mean, it's 12, 14 miles from me, and I guess if he was up on the roof or something, I'd hear him better because I can often hear HTs or low power like that from Lebanon, but not always great. Logan, good to have you in there. The youngest member, I think, tonight. That's Logan. Logan, is that what? Forgive me. How old are you again?
I'm 13.
Very good. Oh, boy. I can actually remember when I was 13. I don't remember anything else. I just remember when I was 13, and that's only 58 years ago. I didn't expect a comment, but I feel like an old codger at this point compared to a 13-year-old. Very good. Logan in Lebanon, November 4, Lima Charlie on an HT. He's working to get a tower up as well as a little bit more power on another rig. Of course, he wouldn't need a lot of power with a tower. He could use his HT on a good antenna. All right. Anybody else east? Any late check-ins?
KKW, Bill, Core ING, Smyrna.
Ah, very good. I got a couple of guys in there. That's Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform. That's Bill over in Possum Town. Yeah, I had to get it right because there's a possum trot. I got to segregate the two of them. Bill, you sound pretty good tonight. How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing fantastic. I just wish it was a lot cooler than it is during the day. It's horrible out there. It's like I need a refuge inside the house. I can't believe I used to work in weather like this every day. Of course, I was about 50 years younger.
Definitely. I know what you mean. Worked out in the yard most of the day and ran some errands this morning. And yeah, it's plenty hot out there, that's for sure. It's you had to come in and get some cool air every now and again.
Oh, I had a couple of occasions where I was doing a project in the front of the house when the sun was still on the east side. I was putting in a new storm door, and I actually got to after about an hour. I came back in. I said, "No, I'll finish it tonight after 7 o'clock. I'm not going to stand out in the sun anymore." I was going to sweat to death. Anyway, good to have you in there, Bill. That was Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform. He is in Possum Town, and I think I heard Kilo 4 India November Gulf. And are you still there?
Yes, this is K4ING. Sorry about my low power and small end after 4 Delta Tango Zulu. Large antenna next week, but I just wanted to check in. How's everybody doing? K4ING.
Well, you're doing pretty good. You were doing about S6 or so to me, but you say you're on low power tonight there, Frank?
Yes, sir. I'm on low power, and I'm on my XYS curtain rod antenna. That makes a difference, huh?
Yeah, very good. Well, that's better than a quarter wave on a pie pan.
So you got that right. Well, thanks for taking the time for us, and we'll be monitoring K4ING.
Yeah, very good. That was Frank, Kilo 4 India November Golf, and he is in Smyrna. I think I heard Johnny in there. Was that you, Johnny?
No, that was me, Johnny.
Well, that's what I said. I think I heard Johnny in there. You.
Oh, me? Oh, I thought you were talking to you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Kilo Oscar 4. Don't make me guess again. Oscar 4. Give me your call again, John.
Doing the zoo. DTZ.
There you go. DTZ. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu. And it's Donaldson, is that correct?
I'm over here in Inglewood.
Oh, that's right. It's a little farther west. I'm not sure where the Donaldson. It sounds so funny to me, but everybody to me in Donaldson, Hermitage, every town named in Nashville, Davidson County. I prefer to call Nashville, even though it's not appropriate. But yeah, I know where you're talking about there. I know you're on the other side of the Cumberland. It's like kind of across the river from Opry Mills, isn't it?
I don't know. I guess, yeah.
Okay, I'll make it simple. You're west of me towards Nashville. How's that?
Okay. All right. I'll let you pick somebody else up. I got to move some stuff around over here. I've been pretty busy this season. Anyway. All right. I'll check back with you here in a few minutes.
Very good. That was Johnny, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu. He's over there in Inglewood, which is it's kind of between Belshire and the Cumberland. I think that's where I would look at it, but I'm not a very geographically smart, not a genius about the geography around here. I don't get out very much. If you had asked me something about Tampa, the west coast of Florida, or central Florida, or most of Florida, I could have told you after working there for 37 years. But here, I'm just a dummy. Who else? Anybody else late checking? Very. There was a couple in there. Whiskey Alpha 4 Tango Sierra. What was the first name again? The location?
First name is Jude. That's Juliet Uniform Delta Echo. I'm currently mobile. I'm at the intersection of Old Hickory and Bell Road in, I guess, Antioch, Nashville area.
Very good. That's Whiskey Alpha 4 Tango Sierra, and that's Jude. He's mobile. over there. Where'd you say that was? I didn't even jot it down.
Intersection of Nolansville Road and where Old Hickory and Bell Road all come together.
Old Hickory, Bell Road come together, Nolansville Road. Jude, Whiskey Alpha 4, Tango, Tango Sierra. You got a nice signal to me. I'm guessing mine's coming in good to you as well.
Very good from here. I'm actually on a beach right here. I can hear you quite well from my house as well, but I'm in a valley at my house. But here in mobile, I can hear you really well.
Very good. Again, that was Jude, Whiskey Alpha 4, Tango, Tango Sierra. I'm glad you made the effort, Noble. Anybody else? Was there another double in there?
Good evening, Paul. Kilo November 4, Victor Kilo X-ray.
Okay, yeah, Kilo November 4, Victor Kilo X-ray. Okay, Kilo November 4, Victor Kilo X-ray. Is that Robert?
You do that every time. Negative, Andrew.
Oh my gosh, I get that. Well, I'm not going to even say. There's another call that's at least it's similar in my brain to you, and its name is Robert, obviously. Andrew, and you are where?
In Brentwood.
Oh, that's right, in Brentwood. I'll tell you what. I'm going to take I sometimes are able to remember well if I get I can't find it at the moment, but a yellow magic marker, not a magic marker, but a highlighter, and try to just remember that the next time. I hate to embarrass myself by not remembering the name or the location. It also helps if I meet somebody in person and to remember them better. You got to figure there's 35 check-ins, and so I know bunches of them, but there's some I don't know very well. Anyway, sorry about that. It was Kilo November for Victor Kilo X-ray, and it's Andrew in Brentwood. Who else? Anybody else late check-in?
Kilo 4, Quebec, Papa Romeo.
Hey, Russell. Good to have you in there from Laverne. Doing well?
I'm doing well. Got too much time in the sun for the past couple of days.
Oh man, I'm telling you. I still have, if you can imagine, I still have scars on both of my arms from sun poisoning that I got when I was in the military down in Puerto Rico. We were out on the gun range out in the ocean and shooting at the targets on this island they don't shoot at anymore. And I was out there for several hours and my arms just cooked. My face did too. I'm surprised I don't have scars on my face from the sun, but I got parts of my arms don't tan because the melanin's gone.
Oh, nice. I got a pretty bad burn going fishing one time without a shirt. So. Hey, I venture to say nobody's actually been called worse.
Called worse than what?
The word worse.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Very good. By the way, that's Russell, Kilo 4, Quebec, Papa Romeo, and he is in Laverne. Good signal too, by the way. They're doing really good with that new antenna. Well, it's relatively new antenna up on his roof. Is anybody else late check-in before we move on? Anybody else? I mean, that's 36. It's not like I'm crying for more here. That's a lot of check-ins for a simplex net. We've been doing this pretty regular with anywhere from 25 to 35. Usually it's hanging around 30 or so, 30 to 35, which is a lot. I'm sure there's other people listening. I'd love to have you check in, but not now. We're too busy. No, we got to move on. All right, let's move on then. We can take other check-ins if somebody comes up, but has anybody got anything? I know there's somebody who wants a power supply. So if anybody's got a power supply, they need to talk to, who just asked me about that?
W4AWE.
Oh, John, you got a power supply? You ready to unload?
I just found this thing today. It's brand new. I literally had no idea I had it. If he's got a smaller radio, it's a linear supply. I'll put it on the list tonight. It's a Pyramid PS14KX. It's a linear supply. It's not one of those noisy switching ones. It's 12 amp continuous, 14 amp peak. I don't know if that's enough for him or not.
No, 12 amp would be fine on a 25 watt rig.
Yeah, I would think so. A 25 watt radio shouldn't pull any more than 5 or 6 amps.
Well, roughly speaking, if I remember my Ohm's law, which I don't always remember it, it's a law. It's not a suggestion. If you have what'd you say that was? A 12 amp power supply, right? And it's a 12 volt supply, more or less. So that's 144 watts right there. I mean, roughly speaking.
Yeah, but that doesn't translate to RF watts through because radios are very lossy. they're not very efficient. Usually 50% is the best efficiency you can get on a transmitter.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm just saying what the power supply could achieve by itself. You're right, because that's really apparent power, not real power.
But I just now looked this up on Google. It's 85 shipped, and then I found another site where it was like 67 plus $15 shipping. I mean, it's brand new. I've never even plugged it in. $50 if he wants it.
Ah, $50. Who was it that was looking for that power supply? I'm sorry, I didn't remember who wrote. I didn't write down who needed that. But we've got somebody who's got $50 for a linear power supply that should be good just fine for that 25-watt radio.
I'll take it. KO4 DFA, John here at Hermitage. Yeah, it sounds perfect. We can do the details. Post something up on the message board on Yahoo tonight. We'll connect. I'll buy it.
Okay, here's the deal. You can go right to John's email address on QRZ, and his call is Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and contact him directly. How's that?
I need something to write down. I'm just with radio in hand and something else in my other hand. But if we could just do a quick post or something or anything, I just have nothing to write with right this second.
All right, very good. John, if you would just do a quick post on that, doesn't have to be any fancy. Just give me your contact information, and you can square the rest of it away later.
Yeah, QRZ is good, and after the net, I'll just put a quick listing for it up on the group to make it easy.
Sounds good. Okay, we got one sale. Anybody else got anything they want to buy or anything they want to sell? All righty, then we'll finish. We'll wrap up. That was the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. We just apparently made a committed transaction on a 2-meter. Excuse me, on a 12 power supply, a linear power supply for a nice brand new cut rate price. And the ham's going to have a working radio here momentarily. Well, within a few days, I'm sure. Okay, then if anybody a late check-in?
Paul?
You. Yeah, go ahead.
I hate to ask you this. Was that power supply the only thing that was out here?
It's the only thing that was out here tonight.
That is a linear power supply. That is the power supply with a built-in amp. Is that right?
It's not a built-in amp, no.
Is it a digital power supply?
No, it's a regular linear power supply, which is different than the what do you call it, John? What do you call it? Hit me with the right name there. Not the linear, but the switching power supplies, the noisy one you were talking about, wasn't it, John?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we doing? Do we do 2 meters tonight, or is that tomorrow?
No, 2 meters tonight, 144.240, and that's where we're going next. And then we'll be on 6 meters on the 50.135. So be happy to have you over there. Well, let's see. Any other check-ins before we move on? All righty. So we're going to close that portion of that, which is the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. We're moving over without further ado to the 144.240. We shall see you there. And immediately following that is the 6 meters on 50.135.
50.135?
That's affirmative. 50.135.
50.135, correct?
Yep, upper sideband.
Okay, 50.135.
All right, we'll be there. All right, we'll be there momentarily, but it's 2 meters first on 144.240. All right, we'll see you there. All right, this is Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 144.240 upper sideband. Looking for check-ins starting again from the north. Please come now.
Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India, John Mount Juliet.
All right, we got John in there from Mount Juliet, Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India. Who else is north?
Hello, Mark in Northwest Wilson.
All right, we got Frank Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo, plus we have Whiskey Bravo 9. Excuse me, Whiskey Bravo 9. Whiskey Bravo, 0 November Oscar. It's Mark up there in Northwest Wilson. Who else is north? Any other north stations of North Modulator? Over to the west.
KM4YRF, Mike in Belshire.
Oh, that microphone is just too nice, man. That's Michael in Belshire. That's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Who else is west?
KG4CXE, Chris and Dolphin.
So you're the guy with the good antenna and the good radio too. You're doing great. Did you make any adjustments to your microphone or anything? Did you jump into any of that stuff?
No, I've changed the EQ one time, but other than that, it's all the same.
Oh no, I just wondering if you had delved into any of that stuff to try to make any big changes. All right. Anyway, that was Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. He's in Donaldson. Who else is west?
In 5TAW, David and Madison.
All right, we do have David in Madison, and that's Keaton November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey. Who else is west?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, John in Bellevue.
Very good. We got John in Bellevue there. Great signal. Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. Are you running any big power tonight, John?
Yeah, at the moment about 600 watts.
Yeah, I can kind of tell, but normally your signal isn't too low anyway. Normally, no, you're doing fine. I still haven't had the time because of some home house issues here to mess with the amplifier that I do have for, not for 2 meters, but it's for 10 meters, as you know, and up and down. Excuse me. Who else is west? Please come down.
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, Greg in Antioch.
Very good, Greg. Good to have you in there on the 2 meter side. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west? All right, and then we're going to go for, where am I going? West, south. Please come down. Anybody south of Mount Juliet, south of Wilson County? South of the equator? South of Birmingham? Nothing. Moving to the east then.
Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Fox November.
You sound a little either off frequency or you got something wacky going on there, Tom. That's Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November. How's my signal sound to you?
You sound like you're a little high. I probably am too. Sorry.
No. That's all right. I was able to copy it just fine, but sometimes this is just a difference in radios I found in the, on the 2 meter upper sideband stuff, the sideband stuff. But anyway, that's Tom. He's over in Martha. Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November. Who else is east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu Irwin Noreen.
All right, we got a cooking Earl. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu in Noreen. Very good, Earl. You sound good. Who else is east?
KB4 RSM.
All right, we got RSM. Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Sierra Mike. Glenn in here in the east side of Mount Juliet by 109 and 40. Anybody else east or late checking? Anybody else? Well, that's good. We got 12 check-ins there. We'll leave it at that. Any other check-ins before I move on to the 6 meter portion? Nothing heard. Then we'll just move on. And Michael, if you're there, would you, if you go make that announcement about moving over to 6 meters, I'm going to go ahead and just do the summary here.
I will, Paul.
All right, thank you. Anyway, let me start from the top or the bottom, but it's still the bottom. Glenn, Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Sierra Mike here in Mount Juliet. Earl in Noreen, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Tom in Martha, Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November. Greg in Antioch at Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. John in Bellevue with 600 watts, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. David in Madison, November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey. Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. And who else do we have? Oh, yeah, Michael, KM4, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Bellevue. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. That's Mark here in Northwest Wilson near the Weather Bureau. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Frank in Northwest Wilson, and really, I guess they call it Mount Juliet. And then me here in Mount Juliet. I believe that's 12 check-ins here. And we're going to go ahead and start over to the 6 meter side, and we'll see you there momentarily. K4 PEW.
W0GZR.
You checked in just at the last moment there. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Got a question for you. Maybe I should wait until we get to 6 meters. I'll do that.
All right, sounds good. That Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo. And we'll see you over on 6 meters, K4PW.
Yes, sir. 6 meters, if you don't mind. KD4 CVD.
Say again on the 6 meters.
What's the frequency?
50.135. 50.135.
Thank you, KD4 CVD.
Very good. We'll see you there. All righty, this is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. All right, we're going to try that again because I was on the wrong antenna. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey with the 6 meter portion of the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. And this is K4PEW again. We're looking for check-ins from the north.
KV9RKK.
Sounds good there. You're sure you're using the off-center fed? I mean, not the dang. You're the end fed halfway, right?
Yeah, the antenna that really shouldn't be used on this.
Ah, works fine though. Works just fine. You got a good signal from where you are. You're in a good location, obviously. That was Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is in there? Where was I? Oh yeah, north.
WB0NLL, Mark.
Ah, very good, Mark. You sound good as well. Which antenna do you use for 6 meters?
Well, I've got two, Paul. I've got one is a vertical, but it's tuned mostly to the FM band, so I actually receive better on my off-center band.
Ah, really? And that's what you're using now?
Roger.
Oh, cool. No, that's good. I would say the off-center fed, even though you're, I'm vertical and you're horizontal. Well, actually, I am horizontal. Now that I mentioned, I've got that horizontal power antenna. That kind of D-shaped one. You know what I'm talking about?
Roger.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I've got. So we're technically kind of in the same boat here. I guess I got to figure some more of that out. Who's got vertical too? Besides, I don't know who else got vertical. But anyway, the horizontal should work fine together. That was Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Oscar. Who else is north?
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul.
Very good. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul in here in Mount Juliet. The better half, Paul. Who else is north? All righty, John. A very low signal there, Johnny. I believe that was Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu, is it not?
Oh, y'all were doubly.
Hey, Johnny, you still there? You, Johnny. Are you hearing me at all, Michael?
I was before, but I'm not now.
Okay, Johnny, if you're hearing me, just jump in any time. I did hear you, and I presumed it was you. I just couldn't. I didn't hear you. It was a very low signal. But anyway, that was Johnny. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu over there in Inglewood, just west of what do you call it? The river over there west of Opry Mills. Who else is north or west?
KM4 YRF, Mike in Belshire.
Very good. We got Michael in Belshire, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Anybody else west or north?
KW David in Madison.
Ah, very good. November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey David in Madison. Good signal on 6 meters. Which antenna are you using, David?
I've got one of those car antennas, I think, like what you have, over.
Ah, very good. Yeah, it seems to work. Have you had any luck with that, like in the contest this weekend?
No, I'm not able to set it up like it needs to be, so it does hear real well.
Ah, okay, very good. Just curious. Yeah, I find that to be a pretty workable antenna. All right, and again, it's November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey David in Madison. Who else is west or south?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue.
All righty, I got John in Bellevue, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. Anybody else west or north?
Paul, it's the KM4 station there.
I'm not copying that KM4 station very well. Anybody got a copy on that?
Jack and Donaldson.
Ah, Jack and Donaldson. I'm not copying him hardly worth a darner. KM4 ILV. Gotcha. I've got him in there as a relay, but that's interesting. We'll have to talk later, John, on what you have that I can't hear you so well. Anybody else west or north? Anybody south? Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Very good, Larry. I got you in there. Who was the other party? Was that John? John, did I have you in there? Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure. I thought I heard you in there. Who else was checking in west or south?
Not that I can hear.
Okay, that was Whiskey 4 GZR. Very good. That was the one I couldn't hear. Okay, I hear just a little low to me there, Mr. Geezer. Which antenna are you using?
I've still got that little 4-element Comet setting on the balcony, and it's going to be leaving here this weekend.
Very good. I would actually, I presume you've got a great signal there, John. But I did Whiskey 4 GZR. I was wondering about his antenna. Now, Whiskey 0 GZR. I'm sorry, I used the wrong number. Okay, very good. No, your signal's very low to me, and I was just wondering which antenna you were using. Okay, very good. I'm just wondering because I was, like I said, your signal is very low, and I'm horizontal, and you say you're how much power are you running on that vertical? Mark? Say it again, Mark. All right, I'm not copying much there, Mark. I was just asking you how much power you were running at your station.
He was switching antennas, Paul, but then he came back on his G5RB, I think.
Very good. Did he give an answer, or didn't he have time to do that?
Yeah, he did not answer your wattage, how much power.
Yeah, he probably should do all right on the G5RV, horizontal to me. Yeah. Now, Mark, are you still there? That Whiskey 0 Golf Zulu Romeo. Yeah, your signal's just a little low to, not a little low. It's a lot low to me. Fortunately, I don't have any or very little background noise here. If I had headphones on, it would be better. But the signal's very low, and I just thought I'd let you know just for practical reasons. It shouldn't be that low from where you are in Nashville, I wouldn't think. Say that again. All right, very good. That'd be the best thing to do. But I had just trouble copying you real well, but it's a little bit of a strain. Like I said, if I had headphones, it'd be better. Is there any other late check-ins, north, south, east, or west?
KE4 TWI.
Very good. We got KE4 TWI over there on Mount Defiance. Who else?
KB4 RSM.
Man, we got this net's getting too big, man. I'm running out of space here. We got Glenn over in East Mount Juliet, Southeast Mount Juliet. Who else we got? Any other check-ins on the 6-meter net here?
Kilo 4 Whiskey United.
Very good. We got Bill in there. Kilo 4 Whiskey United in Possum Town. Who else is late checking? I'm sorry, one more time on that last one. All right, wait. I believe I had a double in there. Let me do that one more time because it was the Kilo 4 station that I was looking for. Ah, very good. I got you in there. Kilo for Juliet Zulu India, the one I always have trouble saying, but got you in there solid that time. And who was there another station in there? Kilo Bravo for SFN. Tom. Anybody else? I'm hearing somebody in there. I just can't make it out.
It is Earl.
Earl, say that again. All right, I'm not copying that too well, but I'm pretty sure that's Earl. Is that you?
Yeah, he said he's on his 10-meter vertical.
Oh, well. I just hope his SWR holds up. All right, very good. Is any other check-ins? We had quite a crowd here on 6 meters tonight, and I ran out of space, and I've got 2 scraps of paper, so if I mess something up, tell me. But any other check-ins for the 6 meter portion of the net on 50.135? Ah, very good, Stan. K, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, Stan, and Lebman. Anybody else? Anybody hearing anything? Because I don't think I hear anything.
No, I didn't hear anything, Paul.
All right, I'll take that as a no. All right, I'll try to recap my scribbles here, but it looks like we had quite a number of people here. We had Kilo Mike 4 Rome Hotel Quebec Echo Stan and Lebanon. We had Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu Earl and Noreen and Tom. Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November and Martha. And I believe that was John. Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India. And I forget where he is. Where are you? Zulu India? Yeah, that's right. It's Mount Juliet. How could I forget? And we got Bill, Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform. He's in Possum Town. And I'll jump over to if I can read my writing here. Kilo Mike 4 India Lima Victor. That's Jack and Donaldson. And Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor Larry in Rockville. And Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo John in Bellevue. And Whiskey 0 Golf Zulu Romeo. That's Mark in Nashville. And let's see, Whiskey 4, I already had Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. November 5, TAW, David in Madison, and we had Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot Michael in Bellshire. And we had Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu, Johnny in Nashville on Inglewood. And then Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul here in Mount Juliet. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Mark in Northwest Wilson, as well as Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo also in Northwest Wilson. And then me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. And that makes, I didn't count.
18.
Wow, that's a big number for 6 meters. I'm surprised. I was expecting we might get some other parties in there due to the contest, but I think conditions really stink tonight.
I couldn't even hear Rick. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, no, that was very unusual. I just caught him on one of his good transmissions that I could tell who it was, and it was a decent, I copied him well. Well, I'm going to close out that portion on that, and we're finishing at 18 minutes after the hour, so it went a little long, but three big nets. Appreciate everybody who checks in. We'll catch you guys back over on 2 meters if you like. All right, closing that K4PW. Thanks, everybody.